Oh, hello. Yeah, so we actually have the thing running now. What happened to my audio? Oh, it's not. Oh, come on, Apple Music. Every time I start Apple Music, I say I need to change. Ah, what the fuck? Yeah, so it's running now. I'm a little bit worried about I removed some things, like some logging. But let's see. We can take a look at it now. So now I'm running the thing. This is just building the project. So normally you would get here, starting sandbox, restarting sandbox. We're going to show the cluster name here instead. And then it's restarting. Wow. Yeah, no ports to open, waiting 5 seconds for tasks to run. And then we're creating memory snapshot. And then we're done. And we even created the tag, which is awesome. So yeah, this should just be working now. So what we're gonna do is, I think we're gonna ignore foo. Let's call it something else. Test template. I'm just gonna ignore that. No, for fuck's sake. Why did I go in there? Now we have to go and remove it. This is just stream though, so no biggie. Fuck. That's the bad thing about like doing these streams. It's the fucking tokens. Test SDK, remove token. I was gonna go into git ignore. Test template. Cool. And then I think, did I actually, yeah, working. But I'm just gonna go to check out new release. And then we're gonna git merge snapshot tags. And we're gonna push that. Nice. Okay, so I feel confident we're gonna get this out. So we're gonna run with it now and try to fix as many things as we can. So what do we need to fix? Let's start. Okay, add restart task. That's a simple one. Let's start with that one. WebSocket session, tasks, restart. Oh, that's the thing we wanted to add, wasn't it? Yeah. Oh, interesting. Don't we have... Okay, I guess restart task. Yeah, this can use some work. Oh, fuck. We need to actually... Yeah, okay, this is actually a bigger thing. We should have an actual task here. So task... Yeah, okay. Yeah, I think we should do the good thing here. So we're gonna have static from JSON, and that JSON is gonna be so task DTO, and then we're gonna return new task. Well, I guess we can just do that, right? Yeah, sorry. Constructor, JSON, data, I guess. Okay, so we want to do, let's just make that private, and then we're going to do get ID, return this.data.id. We're gonna, oh, you're already doing all this for me. That's great. Command, run at start. Did we have all of this? Yeah, preview, shell ID. Yeah, perfect. And then we're gonna do, because this needs to update from JSON. No, I think we're gonna update this manually inside here. Let's see. It is interesting though, because you kind of wanna yeah, tasks are interesting. You might not want the actual task thing, but yeah, let's see how we're gonna do this. So this would be, we would need to listen to, so each task, oh no. Okay, let's just pass picture client in there and let's see what we're gonna do about it. Picture client, hi picture client. So what we need to do, I think it's fine that we just, because tasks are something that clients task on task update. We basically just have to say this.data equals update. Yeah, because all the like terminal and all these other APIs, they are they have this abstraction. They have an actual thing. Unconfigured task definition. How does it actually get those things? From DTO data. So this has, but what about the unconfigured? Yeah, and we don't need the shell. We're gonna actually return the shell here. Oh well, we don't care about the shell. Let's see. Unconfigured. What's that? Is this something on task DTO? Why are we using unconfigured? Where's that coming from? Unconfigured? Is this being used anywhere? No, I wonder what that was. We don't care about the command, I guess. Well, I guess we can return a command. Yeah, and we don't do preview. That doesn't make any sense. That preview property is really not related to and it's not ports. Why do we have ports? Oh, we do have ports on. Oh, interesting. Yes. Okay. Anyways, so the question is, should we clean up these tasks? And I don't think we should, because they never really stop. They are just there. And you might get like new tasks. You can even delete a task, but I don't think it really matters, because these listeners will just kind of be there. That's fine. That is fine. But But I think it should have a listener, so you can listen to, or maybe not. Maybe we're just gonna do on task output, shell output listener. So this is a thing I thought was necessary, but I think we're gonna change this. On task output, on shell output listeners. Yeah, we're gonna change this. So we're rather gonna give this task abstraction the actual shell if it has it. Let's see. Oh, we're getting into this is much more work than I thought. There's just so much to do with this SDK, so every little thing is like an opportunity to make things better. So what we need to do here, we need to, so we're gonna have like restart, stop, run task. Yeah, we need to call it restart because you don't know if it's actually running or not. Stop task, restart task. Or is this actually, no, because you'll always have a list of the tasks. That's the whole point. It's very interesting because these tasks, they have unique identifiers. So you could even store them in like an object so you can more easily reference them, but it won't be typed or anything like that. So it's something you would have to do from the consumption side of things. Okay, so this definitely needs picture client. But we need access to the shell here. So we are going to, what are we going to do? We are going to say, private get shell. And we're gonna basically do this dot picture client, client's shell, get shells. So this might be undefined, that's fine. So if there is shell on the data, we can go and grab it, and then, or are we gonna actually bring in the commands here? No, maybe not. Client shell restart. Okay, so if this dot shell, we're gonna say shell ID, or we're gonna actually start the thing. Run task this.id, and that's gonna give us a shell. I guess we can make this await, sorry, async. Sorry, await, and then await. So if this dot shell, we're gonna await that. Oops, async. It's kind of interesting, like, yeah, I guess we can have async run. So it's just a convenience thing. Yeah, we can do that. And then restart is just, if we already have a shell, well, that's the thing. Restart is really just return this.run. So it's just a convenience thing. Oh, no, we don't have to stop it. Okay, do that. Yeah, so restart, it's just because like when you say run, you don't think about necessarily that it's going to restart, but it will actually do that. And then you just have restart, which is run, just for convenience. So, okay. Get task, return new task. Okay, this is interesting. So, because I don't think we want to create a new task every time, right? That's kind of weird. Then we're going to have like this memory leak of this listener. Huh. Feature clients, task. On task. Yeah, on task list update. That's really what we want. And then we have on task update. Yeah, we have a lot of cool stuff here. On unassigned port closed, on unassigned port opened. You can generate a config file. You can do a lot of stuff here. Okay, so what we're going to do, we're going to keep a list of tasks here. So this is going to be private tasks. Is a list of tasks. And when this thing fires up, we're going to say this tasks equal get tasks. Is this async? No. Oh, yeah, I remember. Tasks. Oh, yeah, and it's object values, map. Yeah, exactly. So this is going to be our tasks, and then we're going to listen to not on task update, but on task list update. This is, why is this a, oh, task list DTO. What's a task list DTO? Oh, okay. Okay, fine. Let's remove this one. So whenever the how are we gonna do this? We need to know if it's in the list or not. Tasks. Let's just call this update. Yeah, I guess what we can do is just for each task, we're gonna check if it's in the list, and if it's not, well, okay, I guess what we can do here is for sorry, let's see. What's going on here? Oh, I can't do this? Why? I think this is a TypeScript thing. Oh, sorry, in. I was wrong, but oh, what's happening here? There we go. Okay, so we're just gonna go through it, and we're gonna check existing task. If no existing task, we're gonna add it. Yeah. So basically, when you fire this up, we're gonna create these task abstractions around the task, and then, and as I said, like these tasks, they can't really like be added or removed. These are just But if they're not running, I don't think they're in the list. I can't remember. But it's well, okay. Let's see, because we do have feature client tasks. I think you can you can create a task. So we don't actually expose that now. So currently you can't really add or remove something, add or remove a task, but we do actually support it. Which means, yeah, I don't think we really need this. At least if we need it, we also need to handle removing of a task. So since we're not exposing like, yeah, let's remove this. Oh, look at that. I can remove all that stuff. So that would be, this is not async. Return this to tasks. Get a task by its ID, and that would be this.tasks. Fine. Well, I guess we can just return that. Well, that's also a thing. It's like, why have... Okay, I guess that's fair. Get task by ID. It's different than... This is not async either. This is different than... What happened here? Oh, than like terminal and commands and stuff, because you don't really have like a solid ID tied to them. Okay, so this is much simpler now. And we have run at start, ports, constructor, blah, blah, blah. Cool. Yeah, because I misunderstood the user. I thought they want to listen to the output of tasks, but you can actually... Oh yeah, so that's the thing I was gonna fix now, is I really want you to have the command here. Yeah, so I don't really want... Yes, exactly. So what I want is... Yeah, so we do have this private shell. What are we using that for? Yeah, this one's a little bit tricky. Because this shell is we're gonna change the ID of this shell. Like, we're gonna dispose of it and create it again. So we need to... Okay, we're gonna do this a little bit differently. We're gonna say get command. But this is a little bit weird, calling it command. Maybe we should call them command shell. Now, because you can... An interpreter, of course, it's a shell. Of course, a terminal is a shell. Commands, what does that actually mean? But what we can also do, we can call it shell, and then what we do under the hood is that we just create a command shell, because that's what it really is. And then you can listen to the outputs and everything. Yeah, and then you also have like restart. No, I think it makes more... How are we gonna do this? Because the task might not be running, so it doesn't make sense to listen to... Yeah, and also since the shell kind of is... Yeah. You know what? We're gonna add, sorry. We're gonna add the same kind of on output stuff. On output, we're gonna copy that over. And then you can actually listen to this, but it's gonna be across, oh, this, oh, sorry, disposable. Yeah, let's just have a disposable here. Doesn't hurt. So you can listen to it, but you're listening to it across shells. That's the point. So we're gonna, it's kind of an abstraction over multiple shells. That status change, we don't really need that. But we do need output. Private output. Oh. Yeah, and let's put, okay, it's fine. We can have shell there. But we need to handle a flipping of the shell. But we need get output. Let's see. Get output. Well, that was a method. We should keep it the same. Get output. It's not async. Why do you say it's async? So that gives you the output. And now we have to keep that output up to date. Let's see how we're going to do this. So we need to know if how are we going to do this? So first of all, we need to do picture client clients shell on, yeah, on shell out, basically. Yeah, sorry. So we can just check. Shell, well, isn't it shell ID and out? Yeah, sorry. So we can basically say if this shell ID equals shell ID, we're going to say this output push out. And then, yeah, this on output emitter. Cool. Yeah, that's really all we need to do. So when that shell changes, this is just going to start outputting. The thing is that I think we need to change this into an actual object so that we know a shell ID string and then output string like this. Oh, so that will be a shell. Yeah, like we might have a shell ID. So we need to do it like this. Because you'll be flipping shells, right? And we want to clear the output every time we change the shell ID under the hood. So we're gonna do if this output shell ID how are we gonna do this? So if this shell and okay, sorry, if no this shell, we're just gonna return just to clean it up. So now we know that we have so let's comment that. If we have output from a previous shell of the task, clean it. Update output for shell. Okay, this is great. So this will be, yeah, this output. Yeah, this is a little bit weird. Let's call it data. Yeah, looks a little bit better. Cool. So we need to test this. So basically now we have this task abstraction that allows you to look at the task. You can listen to its output regardless of which shell is currently responsible for it. You can run it, you can restart it, you can stop it. You can get its current output. Yeah, hi there. So what I'm working on here is something called, well, currently the CodeSandbox SDK. So CodeSandbox is a company I worked at for a long time that got acquired by Together AI, where at CodeSandbox we were trying to build coding experiences first in the browser, and then moving to this really cool infrastructure running micro VMs. And we weren't able to monetize that kind of experience of like building basically coding experiences from the browser, because developers just doesn't want to do actual coding in the cloud, regardless of it being in the browser or even connected through VS Code, because it has latency to it. Long story short, AI happened, we got acquired, and now we're using that infrastructure for the AI use case. But instead of like delivering an end product, like a coding editor in the browser and stuff, we're taking all the technology that we built and we're exposing it through an SDK so that other companies and engineers and developers and people can build new products using our technology. So I'm working on a beta release for this. We have an MVP with some users that's using this, and I'm kind of going and cleaning it up and making it super accessible. So you can think about the SDK as a way to like just interact with coding environments, create new coding environments, fork from other coding environments. You can connect to them and write files, and like you can do whatever you want with that environment, which is an excellent thing for AI because they want their own coding environments. But you can use it for tons of different stuff. Okay, cool. So that's task. Add restart task. Okay, and then we need to make preview in browser separate API. I don't think we should focus on that now. We do have expose base git methods. I think we should do that because it's kind of already here. We need to test the tasks though. Did I already have that? Is this the test thingy? Well, you would be surprised. Like if you search for CodeSandbox SDK, you'd be surprised how simple it is from a consumption standpoint. Like the internals are incredibly complex, especially because there's a huge infrastructure behind it. But like my job is to make this like super, super simple. It should feel like just working with any JavaScript NPM package. So for example, SDK. So as an example, you can see here, this is the old documentation though, but you can see here, you create the SDK, just get a API key, and then you just say sandbox create. And now you have a coding environment in the cloud. And then you can do all sorts of stuff. You can run some evals on some code. You can run a shell, just starting a server. And then you can wait for that port to open. You can get the preview URL for that port so you can open it in your browser. And then you can hibernate and you can reopen it and stuff like that. But yeah. What was I doing? And this was interpreters. Yeah, we don't really have tasks here. Okay, so let's just finish finish us looking at this. Interpreters, was that a simple one? Yeah, let's take that one. Let's call it tasks. Tasks component. And we have the session here. So we don't really want any of this. Let's just remove everything. Where is this running? Was it localhost 74? Yeah. And let's just change app to take the tasks component instead. Cool. So now we're connected to that thing. And what I'm going to do first, I'm just going to use effect console.log session dot tasks dot oh yeah, let's see. We're first gonna actually build the thing. Did we export task? I don't think we did. We need to export it. Good spot to learning code. Start here. HTTPS frontendmasters.com. Someone asked this earlier today. Go there, sign up, start with a course that's not about coding, but is about building something like React, Svelte, Angular, Vue, something that allows you to learn how to build something quickly. So you get that like feeling of, oh shit, I just built something. And look how easy it was. I don't understand how anything works. I just built something. And you can do that for a long time. Like that's basically what a junior engineer is someone who understands how to build something without understanding like the necessarily understanding the underlying runtime and all of that stuff. But they can actually build stuff and create value, right? So I would start there. And then if you're curious, you can go and actually watch the JavaScript courses, like to learn the language. But like for me, it took years before I understood how the language and the runtime actually works, and like getting super confident about like what does state mean, closures, like how we can use the language to encapsulate like low level stuff that has nothing to do with actual outputted value to some user, but is like very valuable to like build larger things. So yeah, you need to have fun with it. Let's see. Oh yeah, sorry. So we're looking at tasks. So we can say get tasks. Let's look at the. Okay, so we have some tasks here. Yeah, so we have dev, for example. I guess we want to have like what's the actual status of this thing? That's something that's missing. Yeah, for sure. Let me know if you have any questions. Happy to share any experiences I have. So what I think we should really do here, get status. So this would kind of be if we have a shell. So I think like if, or maybe it can just be is running. That's all we really care about, because like a task is something. Yeah, I guess we can have, okay. sorry, we can actually have the status. So it might be, so what's the status again? Shell process status. So it might be running, finished, error, killed, or restarting. That's fine. I'm actually a little bit unsure if, I think we're gonna have a listener to the actual, I don't think the task updates when the shell updates. Well, we can check. And then we can have private on status change emitter. This wouldn't be task, this would be shell process status. Yeah, let's do this. So we're gonna see if it actually changes status. Thanks a bunch. Have fun. Maybe we'll speak later. Bye-bye. Cool. Did we build it? And then we're gonna go here and we're gonna go and get like the dev task. Dev task is get task. No, get task. That will be dev. And I guess we can just do this. Boop. And there we have our dev task. And yeah, it's kind of annoying. Maybe we should start using the private fields. It's a little bit, yeah. Anyways, yeah, it's interesting how like the runtime output differs from the typing, because output is really a private field. Well, not private field, but a private property. Anyways, let's take a look at the thing. Can we see the status here? Oh, so that means that it's not actually running. What's the ID of this? Maybe we should, yeah, you know what? Let's see, get output status or idle. So we're gonna add like shell process status or idle. And okay, this is gonna be interesting. So no, I think this is gonna be fine. Let's see. Yeah, so this thing is not running, I believe. S-Joop. Exactly, it's not running. So what we can try to do now here is const task ref is use ref task or null. We should be able to get our task from here. Great. And we're just going to say, yeah, return. This is just the way it is. And then we are going to show some. What are we going to do here? I think we're going to have some state. Const status, set status, use state. Yeah, I guess we just have to set it to idle for now. Let's see, return. Dispose status change. That would be dev task on status change, set status. Yeah, this is just dispose. But yeah, this is actually status change disposer. H4 dev task. Cool status. Let's add a button there. Restart. On click. I'm curious to see if task ref current restart. If the status actually updates. It's idle. No, it doesn't. Oh, nothing happens. That's kind of weird. Okay. But what about if I refresh now? Is it running? Oh. Well, now it's running. Oh, interesting. Okay, so it didn't get its status update. Oh. Okay. Sorry. On shell out. Okay, so I'm gonna... Okay, I think we need to have an actual listener to the shell as well. Clients, that's kind of what I was looking on shell. On shells updated. Oh. Okay, we're gonna do one more check. We're gonna... and so if... come on. Last status is this. That status. Because I'm not sure if we get a task update, if we get a shell update. Sorry, we need to check that. So let's just implement stop as well. Kill, stop. Wait, why does it still say idle? It's running, right? That's weird. We need to check that. This shell status. Or was it my implementation? Use status. Oh, sorry. It's my bad. So we need to actually set status. Yeah. There we go. It's running. So we're gonna see now if I click stop. Yeah, I'm pretty sure we're not getting shell updates, so we need to fix that. Yeah. Okay. So let's fix it. So that means we need another listener here. Picture client, clients, shell on. Well, I'm not sure why we don't have. Why do we only have shells update? Oh, this is, yeah, I guess this is data.shell. And then yeah, this is gonna no shell return. Oh, and this is not the same because this is a command shell detail. Well, I know it's a command shell DTO. Ask, do I have protocol here? Yeah, shell command shell DTO. That's fine. And then we're gonna do the last status. Yeah, this is a complex thing, but it's gonna be heaven for consumption that you can just conceptually manage a task. Oh. Why am I not getting status updates? Interesting. So there's something going on here that I don't quite understand. On task update. Is it on task started? Do we need that one as well? Okay, we're gonna do some logging here. What the fuck? Yeah, let's take a look. So it's running. If I stop it, weird that I got so many of them. Oh, look at this. So I am getting shell updates. That's weird. Why didn't it update the status? Okay, let's try again. Let's try again. That was weird. Oh, now it's working. Yeah, so it's running. And I think yeah, it's interesting. Because you can look at what ports a task has opened, but we have this other ports API. Yeah, let's drop that for now. And then if I stop it. Oh, this is interesting. So if I stop it, it doesn't get an update. Okay, let's see. So I'll restart it. It's running. If I stop it. Oh, did I build it? I don't think I built it. And then if I stop it, shell. Oh, but it gets, oh, it does get. Why didn't it change back? If last status not equal to this status. I'm confused. We got killed here. Why didn't it change to killed? On status change. Ooh. What? It's getting killed? And its current state is running. I am very confused. Okay, let's just last status. update.shell status. That's so weird. Update idle running. There's a lot of listeners. That's also weird. And that's fine. And if I stop it, update idle killed. Why isn't it emitting that? It's almost like, oh, wait a minute, this shell, but this shell, oh, wait a minute. I don't need to do this. I can just do this.data.shell. Yeah, I don't even need this, do I? Because I just have shell. Okay, fine. That's interesting. Running, killed. Oh yeah, because yeah, the reason I'm getting so many updates is because, oh, wait a minute, on task update. Oh, yeah, okay, so a couple of things I forgot there. If update, yeah, so we can only update it if it's the actual, or, oh, this is interesting. We don't know, oh no, wait, this one's fine. No, this is not fine. Okay, so we, if no shell or this.shell, yeah. Yeah, exactly. This is how it needs to work. Sorry, this was bad code. So shell out is like any shell, right? So if we don't have a shell on this task, or the current shell ID on this task doesn't match the shell out, we're gonna do nothing. But if it does match, but maybe it changed from what the previous output was, then we want to reset that output. And then we just update it. So this is correct. Yeah. Nice. Okay, and then we can also, let's just log out some, where did we learn about this? We learned about this from commands. Oh, sorry, not here, but here. So we can actually show the, let's just copy this over. We're gonna show the actual new xterminal terminal container ref. Like, look at you just doing everything I want you to do. Let's drop that, and then we're gonna do yeah, and then we're gonna say if no xterm ref current, we're just gonna return. That's never true, but it's just for typing. And then, yeah, you helped me a little bit here, didn't you? Can you do that again? Thank you. I don't need a terminal container. Well, I do. So let's do xterm open terminal container ref. And then we're gonna take our xterm and we're gonna write dev task get output. So we get the initial output. And then we're gonna do dev task on output. We're gonna write, Oh, but this is interesting because let's see. We need to make one more fix. So where's the thing where we reset? This dot output fire. Let's see. Oh, not that one. Sorry. Please fire the command that clears the console. Yeah. Let's see. So okay, we need one more thing. So the output here needs to be oh yeah. So this is gonna be interesting. Oh yeah, because we're changing shells, right? Yeah, so I think what we need to do here is we basically just want to say this dot output dot data equals this dot, because we might actually have a shell. Oh, don't we have? Oh, for fuck's sake. Yeah, it's command shell. Oh, don't we have the output here? No, we don't. Oh, how will we handle that? Oh, picture client, client shell. No, not that, not that. Get shells. Yeah, but this is just a shell DTO. How do I get the current output? No, I'm confused. Data dot, and the shell is an actual command shell. I'm gonna check it. Log data shell. Is this from the same place? Why is it null? Oh yeah, sorry, it's the other tasks. I keep forgetting. Yeah, no, there's no like output here. That kind of sucks. Why don't we have that? I guess we only have that on terminals. But I guess that's just a limitation. That's fine. But what should happen here is if I like restart this, there should have been something there, and there wasn't. Okay, this is tricky. Okay, we're gonna do console.log shell ID and out. No, shell ID out. And then we're gonna do console.log assigned shell task.shell shell ID. I'm a little bit worried about the order of events here. Okay, so we have that thing killed. Restart. Why isn't there any output? Why is there absolutely no shell output? I am very confused by this. Yeah, this is weird. We're gonna have to. Oh, this is also putting us down a rabbit hole. We have to go and see why we aren't getting any output. So, task run. Blah 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 blah. Send result. Start task. Here it goes, and it's a lot of stuff. And then it disposes the shell, and then it creates a command shell. Which updates the task, and so on. But why isn't there any output on this thing? Wait, create command shell. Wait, why are we disposing twice? Dispose the old task. Send the last update because something can. Oh, it's an else here. Sorry. Yeah, create command shell. Why aren't we getting any output? Create command shell. Our shell service. Register shell listeners. Oh, I know why. I know why. We have to actually open the shell. This is a thing. Like, we don't actually emit events for shells unless we open them. So what we need to do in our tasks is that we have to actually open. Yeah, so this is tricky. So what we should ideally be doing here is, like, if you're actually listening to output, yeah. Okay. What the fuck are we gonna do about this? Because it's kind of weird that you have access to. Yeah, maybe we should just do that. Because there's two ways you're interested in the output. It's when you actually call on output, or you do get output. And what we can do is, in get output, we can actually go and open the shell. Do we actually do that here? Dot open? No, that's barrier open. How does this work? Get output. Oh, it's because I'm creating the command, right? So when I say, oh, that's the actual command. Yes, okay, interesting. So when I'm running the command, I'm automatically added. When I create a shell, I'm automatically added to it as a client ID, as a client. But with a task, I'm not added automatically to that shell. And the question is, when do we do that? So maybe we should do get output promise string, and then for fuck's sake, we have to call. This is a complex abstraction. It would be much easier to just open the shells. Yeah, this one's tricky. This one's super tricky. It's almost like we want to do like get tasks, where get tasks will give you the ID of the tasks, and then you would say get task with that ID, and we're actually gonna asynchronously like have the task there, like open the shell, create the task, return it, and whenever the shell changes, we're gonna flip over to that shell and like keep it open and all of that. Because if we do get tasks and we just return a bunch of tasks, you kind of have I think we're going to do that. Get task IDs. And then get task is a promise of a task. Yeah, and it's going to throw if the error doesn't exist, if the task doesn't exist. Oh, interesting. Mark unread. I think we have to do this. This would simplify it, because this means I have a genuine interest in this task. And then const task not found. And then we're gonna do so this needs to be async, because we need to grab kind of the output of the task. So the question is, how do we do that? I guess we just wanna, so if task.shell, why is this so bad? Oh, sorry. This tasks. Oh, sorry. So this tasks is not that thing. This is like protocol task DTO. So we're not gonna map them to that thing. Yeah, so now we have shell. So if we have a shell, we're gonna await open shell, await this picture client shell, open task.shell shell ID. Oh yeah, there's a size for this. Ah. Oh, wait a minute. Or maybe we should just put open on the task itself. That would be interesting. No, but then you can't like, no, I think maybe this is better. But then if you want to display, this is so tricky. Because if you want to show the actual, oh fuck. If you want to show the output, you have to set a size of that output so it shows correctly. That can be a default. Okay, let's just, but that's weird to say get task and then you pass it dimensions. That's much better to have like you get a task and then you open the task and there you pass the dimensions. Oh. Oh, fuck, how are we gonna do this? So when you get a task, oh, this is so complicated. Because if you're gonna show this with like xterm, you wanna have the correct size or it's gonna look like shit. So how does this work for the other one? So if you have a terminal, you can open a terminal, right? Yeah. But commands, you can't open a command. You're just getting all of them. You have the command. But I don't think we're actually opening the shell here. Yeah, there's no like open here. So I think this is a bug with commands. It's like if you're opening an existing command, yeah, but you don't really open existing commands. That's the whole point. Yeah. Yeah. But tasks are different. That's a command, but you also open, you might want to open it to show the state of the task. But if you do that, yeah, I'm wondering if I did this abstraction wrong. So would it make more sense that when you have a terminal, you still have this abstraction of like kill, run, write. But if you actually wanna, you know what? We could call it open. Because if we call it open, so you open the task. That doesn't make sense. Damn. What are we gonna do about this? This feels. Oh no. Okay. I have a check-in shortly. Okay, we're not getting through this, are we? We're still on add restart task. I can't believe this. Yeah, some of this is... Yeah, a lot of this is actually documentation. No, we just have to take our time. What are we gonna do about this? The thing is, like, you also have when you actually have a shell, like you have like resize. You also have resize. So it's almost like it's almost like I wouldn't want the task itself to hold like on out. Well, I do. But you have to open it. Okay, so we're gonna do something different here. But it's kind of annoying. But it shouldn't have a get output, because you can't just get the output. What you have to do, you actually have to open it. And you're gonna give it the dimensions. But it's only after you open it you will actually get output, right? I think that makes sense. Default shell size. Yeah, I think we have to do this. Task is not running. And then we're actually gonna look at this. It's kind of cool. So we're actually gonna open it. The problem though is yeah, by the way, we're gonna actually have all the tasks now. Let's see. Let's drop this. Let's drop all of this. Get tasks. So I think it makes sense. We're gonna have an async open. But the thing is, we have to make sure that if you've opened it, we need to know that you've opened it and that you care about it. So we're gonna have a private thing here. So we have shell ID. Yeah, maybe we should call it opened state. Yeah, maybe we can do that. So it might have an open state or it might not have an open. So we're gonna do this. Opened. Okay, opened. This is gonna be output. And then when you open it, we're gonna say this dot opened. Oh, that's weird. Shell ID will be open shell ID. Output would be open shell buffer. Yes. So now we have an open, let's call it open shell. So now we know you care about that stuff. So if you were to go in, sorry, on shell out, or node is open shell. And then we can say open shell, open shell, open shell. Nice. Oh, where's this? Yeah, let's just grab it from terminals. Doesn't matter. Okay, this makes sense. So if you try to open it, we're going to set the state that you've opened the shell. We have the reference to that shell ID, the initial output, and then it's going to listen to that. But then we might get a new shell. So then we have to make sure that we open that shell. So basically, we also need to say last shell. This shell dot shell ID. And then we have to check if last shell ID is not equal. Let's just task. Well, okay. So if task shell ID is not equal to last shell ID. Well, first of all, do we have a shell ID? Well, if task shell and task shell ID is not equal to the last shell ID, then we want to go and open it. Yeah, and I guess we want a disposer on this as well. Shit, this is getting complex. Let's see. So if the task has a shell and that shell ID has changed, we have to go and open a new shell. So basically this thing needs to be async. And we have to go and open shell. Oh, and we have to have the shell size here. Oh, this is interesting. This actually needs the shell size. Type of default shell size. Tag nugget. This is yeah, let's call this dimensions. So we're gonna open it. Okay, so if this dot opened open shell, and we have a task, and that task shell ID doesn't match our last shell ID, then we're gonna go and open that shell. And with the same dimension as we opened initially. And then we're gonna say buffer. The problem now is that why isn't this working? Possibly undefined? How can that be undefined? I just told you it's there. So if no shell, if no open shell. Oh, it's because I'm reassigning it or something? Let me get my thoughts together here. So when we get a task update, we're gonna emit a new status. That's fine. And then if we have opened the shell and there's a shell on the task, but that shell doesn't match the current shell ID, it basically means we restarted or something. Then we have to go and open that shell. And we're going to use the dimension that we initially used. And then we're going to set the new state. The problem is, I think this is where we actually need to do this thing. So we need to first output that, and then we need to actually iterate the output. Open shell.buffer for each, and then fire the output. I think it should be there. And then this is just general output for any open shell. Yeah, okay, we're getting close. We're getting very close. Now the thing is, I think this should actually return a disposer. So if you don't want to have it open anymore, we could like stop listening to yeah, well, we're not going to return open shell, at least, that's for sure. Well, I guess we could do like this open shell, like output. That's, it can return, yeah. Yeah, exactly. Open it, you get the current output. And from there, you're gonna, the thing is, like, if you open it multiple times, you're gonna set up, well, I guess we actually handle that on Pitcher. So it's kind of just setting it again. Okay, we have to start somewhere. Oh, by the way, I have a session. Oh, I have to go into a session, so I have to stop the stream. And then I'm actually just going to try to wrap up as much as I can. And then there won't be any beta release today. So I have to inform about that. But there's definitely going to be one on Monday. That's for sure. Yeah. Cool. But that's good. This was a rough one, but it's a really nice experience. Like, that's the whole thing. Like, internal complexity has nothing to do with external complexity, in my experience. And like, just having this task that you can open and listen to output and restart and stop and everything, that's super, super nice. So we're gonna make that happen. But yeah, okay, cool. Bye for now. See you. Well, I think I'm gonna stream on the DevTools stuff this weekend. Hopefully I find time for that, because I'm eager to continue on that. Cool. Bye bye.